Well. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to Coach's Call. This is our Chalk Talk podcast. Sorry, excuse the voice. I've been a bit under the weather, or maybe the weather's been on top of me. I don't know how to put it, but I can't shake this cough. Anyway, bear with me. Thank you for joining in. I'm your coach here at Coach's Call on tap with Tristan Dunn in North Carolina and Coach John Jennings in San Antonio. Thank you guys for being on, fellas. We're just going to chalk talk it today. You know, college football is already done. Well, except for the Armed Forces Bowl this weekend. And then we've got bowls coming up. The playoffs, of course, we're going to talk about that. And then me and Tristan usually talk about this. We usually argue about this maybe 4 or 5 times a year. And I thought, you know, what the hell? Instead of arguing about it via text message, let's go ahead and put it on the show. So we're gonna argue here in front of y'all about the NFL and all of its bullshit and how much Tristan Dunn loves it compared to college ball. So, but we'll get into that later. Let's start with college football. Let's go ahead and just, you know, everybody's been talking about it. There's no secret. There's controversy with the playoff committee and how it's all done. What we have to give to the argument, I don't know. I don't give a fuck, but I do have an opinion. And since this is our show, we get to give our opinion. You guys that agree or don't agree, go ahead and make sure you hit the like button. Comment down there. Let us know whether you agree with us or whether we're full of shit. But I think they got it right.
Yep, I agree.
I think they got it right. I mean, I want to watch the 4 best teams. You know, I don't want to see a Louisville get the shit beat out of them. You know, I don't want to see somebody go in there in the semifinals and get run off the fucking field by 30 or 40. I want a close ball game. Now, I don't care if it's, you know, 68-65 or if it's 17-14.
Yep.
I just want to watch a good contested football game. And I think for all intensive purposes, we have the 4 best teams now. My argument is this: is Florida State as good as Michigan?
No.
Is that conference as good as the Big Ten? For me, I'll get in that argument. I think it's about the same. I think they're both fucking cupcake leagues. That's just me. But dude, you can't tell me that Florida State is going to get in there and you know, rustle up with Washington or Texas or even Alabama. That shit ain't going to happen. Can they do it against Michigan? Maybe.
No.
Maybe. I don't think that much about it. I don't know. Let's start with you, Tristan. You got a lot to say. What do you think about this playoff committee?
I think that I agree with you. I think they got it right. I think, you know, I think the committee learned their lesson from the last 2 years. You know, Cincinnati got blown out 2 years ago. Then you have last year TCU. Sure, they won a playoff game against Michigan, but then they got waffle stomped by Georgia in the Natty. So it's like it doesn't matter. You got your ass beat. And I think they know putting a Jordan Travis less Florida State, it's going to be the same thing. I mean, you're going to get, like, yeah, your defense might hold you in it for about a half, but you're going to get blown out. It's just that simple. You're not going to be able to keep up. And as much as it sucks for Florida State, because I do think it does suck, they made the right decision. And it is what it is.
Yeah. What do you think, John?
I think the 4 best teams are in. I think you could maybe make the debate. Florida State isn't low enough. I personally think Georgia should be ahead of them. So I think they did 5 and 6 just justice as far as the way they placed them. I feel like the Big Ten has the edge on the ACC. Pac-12 definitely, right? And the Big 12, I'd say overall, yes. And then SEC, no question. So with that being said, you know, I couldn't see the playoff without an SEC component. However you want to look at it, right? It just whether they just did a chicken shit way out and say, oh, Georgia's number 4 and Florida State's number 3, right? They could have done that and just took Texas out of the equation and Alabama. You know, Texas should be, you know, mailing thank you cards to Alabama. You know what I mean? If Alabama got in, or Tech, you know what I mean? So that's what bumped Texas in. If not, Texas probably doesn't get in. If Alabama doesn't get placed in there, Texas isn't in there. And then you end up with 2 Now you have 2 teams that are the top 4 that are not in the top 4.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it ends up even exacerbating the thing even worse. But I agree. I think they got it right. I think it hurt a lot of people's feelings. But I think that the criteria, also said, you need to win your conference, right? Best record, strength of schedule. What was Florida State's 55th? What was Alabama's 5th? I mean, that's a big difference, right? And then also, right, the personnel that you have, that was actually a part of the criteria. And without Travis, they are not the same team. And the last 2 weeks, they had a chance to convince everybody of that. And it was not, yes, it was a win, but it wasn't a clear statement. And if you had a dog stomp those 2 people, yes. If you'd a donkey stomped them, absolutely. I think you should have been in there. But because you didn't and you barely won by the skin of your ass against teams that were inferior to you, I don't think you belong in.
Yeah. It does suck because me and you both know, and I used to say this after every win. Let's go home, let's enjoy it, because you may not get another one. And for these guys to get 13 in a row and go undefeated, it doesn't happen very often. And it's hard to do.
Oh, it blows.
Really
it sucks. Again, I ain't gonna lie to you.
I feel bad for them.
Yeah, I do too. But see, this is good for college football, and I'm gonna tell you why. This is exactly why we need a bigger playoff format.
Yeah,
because then it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, I agree. But also, but it should have already happened, Tristan.
Yeah.
So the ACC commissioner got in bed with the Pac-12 commissioner and someone else that wasn't Big 12, wasn't SEC, wasn't Big 10, and decided that they weren't going to do that this year. They weren't going to do the 12-team playoff this year. That we're not doing that until 2024.
Yeah.
Or it could have already taken care of itself.
I wish I could play this, but Tristan won't let me play anything because of some copyright bullshit, and I'll get in trouble. I don't know what it means. But anyway, you remember this, John? Coach Leach got up there and told people 5 or 6 years ago, guys, it's really simple. The fucking Texas high school does it. The Division III does it. The NAIA does it. Division II does it. They all do playoffs. Fuck, even the NFL does a playoff. But the NCAA football, but Division I,
he actually started that rant. He started that rant with the Little League team down the road knows how to do it. The girls softball team, the youth softball team knows how to do it.
Yes, you remember that. It's a beautiful.
And then he evolved to the Division III.
And then he goes, well, they're too far below us because we're the NCAA. Well, let's look at Division III. Oh shit, they figured out a way to do a playoff. Well, let's do a Division II, 1AA. Oh, they do it too. Damn, NFL does it. It's just, it's long overdue.
I think you don't even have to do 12. I know it's going to go to 12, but like even if you did, 8, 10, like it keeps bubble teams. Like do the top 10, and be like, hey, here's your chance. Go win the Natty.
Right. So here's what I love about football versus basketball. Because in basketball, Liberty can win a national championship.
Yep.
In basketball, Liberty cannot win a national championship in football. I'm sorry. They're going to get in. If they did the 12, they would get in. I think they'd play Ole Miss. I think. I saw one bracket. Anyway.
Yeah, that'd be the last.
They would play Ole Miss. Let's say they get by Ole Miss. Then who are they going to play? And then who are they going to play? And you've got all these you've got to get through those teams. It's different than basketball. In basketball, you put your little shorts on and you run around and you throw the ball from the 3-point line and then you just run back and forth and you don't touch anybody and you flop here, you flop. No, you get on a football field. That's a man's fucking sport. Now you fix to get beat the fuck up.
Yep.
Week in, week out. For the next 10 weeks, you're going to get waffle stomped. Now we're going to find out who the real number one is. You know what I mean? This is what I love about football. 12, do I think 12 is too many? I don't know. It'd be better than a bowl game. I don't like bowl games.
They're pointless now.
They're pointless, yeah. Plus, all these guys in the transfer portal. I mean, what's the Gabriel? He's already at Oregon practicing. Bo Nix is out. Gabriel's already at Oregon. The guy at Ohio State's already at Oklahoma. I mean, all these with the Leonard kid at Duke, he's already here at A&M throwing the ball around. Like all these kids are already gone.
Yep.
So who's going to play? And then I heard Kirby Smart talking to that crybaby Norvell, well, this game's going to mean something. Dude, y'all's game ain't going to be worth a shit. I'm sorry. Florida State, they might be so mad they might keep everybody on the field and beat the shit out of Georgia. But Georgia doesn't give two shits about that. Half their team's already on their way to the NFL. And even Kirby Smart said it today in a press conference, in a commercial, talking to Pat McAfee. He said, this is exciting for us to have this bowl game because we get to see 30 brand new freshmen hit the field and see what they've got. You're already telling me, Kirby, that your fucking starters aren't playing. You've already said that.
Did you hear that Florida State might boycott?
Dude, I'm the one that put it on our Discord. Yes,
yeah.
He goes, yeah, we'll go to the game. We'll get all our swag. We'll hand the kids their per diem money. We'll get dressed up. We'll come through the tunnel and we'll just stay on the sideline and not take the field. We'll just boycott it. What are they going to do?
That's going to be fun.
Oh, dude, what was even more fun, and I wish I could play it on this fucking podcast, but because of copyright fucking laws, I can't. I wish I could play Kirby Smart.
Play that.
Kirby Smart. No, not Kirby Smart. What's his name? Kirk Herb Street. He's doing a TikTok in that big ass trailer that they got. Their game day trailer. Yeah. And he's like, FSU's a bunch of pussies, bunch of crybabies. All they do is wham, 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 wham. They need to just go out there and they ought to join the WWE because all they want to do is wrestle and they don't play football. And it's true, man. Look, it sucks. I'm sorry. It does suck. You know what? I got divorced once. I went crawling back to my wife, and my wife said, you know what? Kick the curb. Get the fuck out of here. It hurt my feelings, too, but I'm not going to sit there and whine about it. You got to get up and move on. Fuck it. That's just the way it is. We got the 4 best teams, and I'm excited about that.
Yes.
So now that we all agree, it kind of sucks we all agree. I wish Donnie was on here because he disagreed just to disagree. But now that we all agree on that, let's talk about these games. Because I know Tristan really thinks Michigan's good. I think Michigan's way overrated.
They're going to win.
I don't think their quarterback's worth the shit. You're reading into our Discord, these guys that are buying fucking picks and shit. There's not, okay, let's go down the line. Because I heard Dave Portnoy say that, and I love Dave Portnoy. He loves to start shit, and he started shit. He said something about Harbaugh's a better coach than Saban already. Yeah, he said that.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
And then he said that, is it McCarthy? Is that his quarterback's name?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. See, that's how good he is. I don't even know his name. McCarthy's a better quarterback than Milroe. Are you freaking kidding me? Milroe's probably one of the top 5 athletes in all of college football. But okay, that's fine. Then their running back, Corum, is a better running back than Alabama's. All right, maybe I can go there. Because I do like Blake Corum. He plays with some balls. He does. Michigan's defense is the best defense in the league. Because why? Because they played Penn State and Ohio State. So they held Iowa to 26-0.
But you think Bama's going to win?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't see how they don't win.
Why are they not favored?
They just manhandled the number 1 team in the nation, 29-0.
They were a fraud number 1 team.
No, they're not.
Yes, they
how
are.
Are they a fraud?
Yes, they are.
Oh my God! Here's the start of the downfall of tonight. Right here, Jennings. How is Georgia? How are they frauds? Because they finally got beat by a fucking good team.
Who
is that? How they're frauds?
No.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Who have they played all year?
2 weeks before?
Who have they played all year?
Who has Michigan played? Don't pull up this Ohio State Penn State bullshit because they're dog shit and you know that. Don't even fucking go there.
No, Ohio State's quarterback is dog shit and they still almost won that game.
Ohio State almost did.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michigan's dog shit.
No, they have the number 1 defense in the league, Ohio State.
Oh, because they play in one of the worst leagues in the fucking world.
Oh.
They played that game at Michigan, right?
Yes.
The big house. under 108,000 people.
Get 3 for being at home.
Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit?
You really think? I mean, I know we've got some guys on the Discord. They're already. One guy said, "Oh, this is going to be the biggest bet I've had in 5 years. The line hasn't moved. Blah 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 blah." Go fuck. Tell me how Michigan is a better ball, and then you're telling me that Georgia's a fraud.
They are.
Oh my gosh, you're unbelievable.
That's a reason they got left out of the playoff too.
A program goes 29-0, but they're frauds. That's like you idiots. Y'all do this in the NFL. Oh, a week 13, Philadelphia got exposed. How the fuck you get exposed week 13? Come on, dude. You're professional coaches. You're professional analysts. You're going to know. You're going to expose teams early. Wait till week 13, Philly got exposed. Oh, week 14, Mahomes got exposed. They've got his number. They don't. They're horrible.
I just want to clear the air. Did I say that?
Oh, you always say that shit.
No, I
you
did
always
not.
say that shit.
No,
They're
I did
exposed.
not.
They're exposed.
For the record,
gosh.
if you're watching this, I never said that. He's
Oh,
talking
he
about
says
other
it all
people.
the time.
No, I don't.
I
don't.
On top of, they're going to win by murder, whatever the fuck that means. James, what do you think? You think Georgia's frauds?
I don't think Georgia's a fraud. That's what I started with. I think Georgia's the 5th best team in the nation. I think they're the 5th best. And you're right. And the reason that Georgia could potentially lose that game is that Florida State actually plays all their starters, because half of Georgia's team's going to the NFL.
Yeah, they're done.
So they're going to rest. They're going to choose not to play.
Yeah. And
so by choosing not to play, right, that's going to change the line and things like that. Now, if they were in the big dance, it would be different, right? In the Final Four. But I think Alabama has a better quarterback. They have a better coach. They have a better offensive line. They have a better defense than Michigan. I'd say, you know what, defensively, I'll give Tristan this. I'd say they're probably even. Okay. I'd say running back definitely goes to Michigan. Okay. I would say it's a toss-up receiver-wise, but the fact that you're having to defend another running back at quarterback, I don't want to defend that.
Nope.
That's like defending 12 people on offense.
Well, no, but see now you just lost Tristan. You just lost him.
No,
he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand that part of it, because Mahomes the greatest.
I want to cut you out so fucking bad. It's not even funny. You're such a dick. You're a dick.
They don't have to do that in the Big Ten. They haven't had to defend an offense like what they're fixing to get against Alabama. And I'll tell you this too. I'll throw another one at you, dude. They don't want no part of fucking Texas or Washington either. I promise you that shit. Oh, Penis will throw the ball all over the place. Ewers will have a day with Michigan. Michigan is the number 4 team of all 4. That's where I would put them. Now you can't, but I think the Michigan is the worst team of all 4. And I'm not saying it because I hate Michigan. I'm not saying it because I hate Michigan. I'm just saying.
Well, I think it's because their head coach is why they ended up number 1. Because the conference top to bottom in the Pac-12 is tougher. Well, it's tougher this year than the Big Ten. If you look at it top to bottom, it's a tougher.
It's probably the toughest that the Pac-12 has ever been.
Yeah, no, I concur. I mean, I agree.
You think it's the toughest?
I think Washington.
I think it's the toughest they've been. I don't think it's as tough as the SEC.
Okay, so real quick, you think Michigan's going to beat Bama, right, Tristan?
Yes.
Okay, John, what do you think?
Oh, I think Alabama wins.
Okay, yeah, I do too. I
also think Texas wins.
Okay, that's my next thing. Let's talk about this Texas-Washington matchup, because I really think this is going to be a 7-on-7. This is going to be a 2 below touch football game.
Oh yeah, take the over 64. Take it.
Well, I took it at 62 when it opened. I
Yeah.
look at it at 62. So I took it at 62. 30 minutes later, it went up to 64.
There's going to be 9,500 points scored in this game.
I think so. I mean, Texas is getting Worthy back, and they said they're getting those 2 safeties back. So that'll make them better. But still, dude, Washington, for everybody that loved fucking Oregon, I mean, and I liked them. I did too, but Washington, to me, was the better team all year long. And I said it here on this podcast, and I said it in the Discord, and I said it when I was betting them. I never bet Oregon. I never thought Oregon was a better team. I never thought they were going to beat Washington. Washington's a better fucking football team. That running back is a mean son of a bitch. He gets ahead of steam. He runs like he's running from the police, boy. That motherfucker runs mean now. Texas, same way. Texas has 3 running backs. They're going to get their 3rd one back, I think. 3 running backs. Ewers, decent little quarterback out of South Lake Carroll, went to Ohio State. Now he's back at Texas, feels good, feels confident. Their defensive line, I'll say this, I think the best defensive line in the nation Texas has. Their defensive line is so fucking good, especially with that Sweat kid. That's the next Warren Sapp, coach. That kid is.
Out of the 4, they have the most dominant defensive line.
Oh, my gosh. Dude, I love watching those fools run around. Jeez. They make everybody else so much damn better. It's crazy.
You know, Puff's going to the Rose Bowl.
He is. Yeah, he is. He dropped, what is it, $1,000 a ticket, $500 for a room. Yeah,
Are they driving?
Yeah, he's driving. Him and his daddy.
To California?
No, they're not the Rose Bowl. They're going to New Orleans.
The Sugar Bowl?
Yeah, the Sugar Bowl. That's where Texas is playing.
Yeah.
Bama and Michigan are in the Rose Bowl.
Correct.
I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm looking at it. It says that Texas.
That's another reason. The historic
Texas in the Sugar Bowl.
Getting in the Rose Bowl is why Michigan's favorite.
Yeah.
Bovada's got it listed wrong. Then I thought
wrong.
I thought it was Louisiana too, because it's in here that's in Pasadena.
No, that's Alabama, Michigan. That's why Michigan's favored. They're at their home fucking place. At their second home. Yeah, at the Rose Bowl.
That's weird.
Yeah. But no, so yes, Puff and his daddy are going to New Orleans.
Yep.
That's why they're driving through Tennessee, going to stop and see Donnie. If they make it out of Donnie's, then they'll be there. But they got to make it out of Donnie's place first. And I've partied with Donnie, and it's a very dangerous situation.
And I see that as a home game for Texas, you know?
Huh?
I see that as a home game for Texas, because Texas will travel well.
Texas travels well.
And in Louisiana, people pull for Texas.
Yeah, because they hate Alabama.
LSU.
Yeah, Alabama's an hour down the road, but they're still. It's gonna be crazy. I like Texas in that matchup, man.
Oh yeah, I think Texas runs them out of the stadium.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about running out of the stadium, but I think that Texas wins. I mean, I hope that they win, right? As a fan, but I think it's going to be 2 of the most creative offenses in college. So they are.
Yeah, they are already
best offenses in college football. And so, as far as offensive minds and the people behind the offenses, right? The offensive coordinators or head coaches in Texas's perspective. But Penix is really good, right? Yours is pretty good. Odunze, the wide receiver in Washington.
Yeah. Freak of nature.
And if they're getting Brooks back, it gives them 3 in the stable at running back, right? Yep. That's with that offensive line.
I think, Coach, the way I look at it, I think the winner of Texas and Washington wins the whole thing.
I hope so.
I really do. I think Alabama's got enough to get through Michigan, but these 2 offenses over here, I think might be a bit too much for Alabama.
I agree with that.
Might be too much, and I think you're going to see what Tristan loves to see. You're going to see a national championship that's going to be, 48-46. This should be up and down the fucking football field, excited.
I want to point this out. Coach Z likes to take words that I've never said and opinions I've never said and put it out there, and I'm not entirely sure why. I've never done anything to hurt him. But
what are you doing here, Dr. Phil?
He creates this narrative of me that's not even true.
We can go back on podcasts and
please
hate
do
defensive
it.
teams.
No, I don't. No,
I
don't.
You love scores. You love buckets.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
And we don't have Donnie to break y'all up.
Tristan, halfway. You don't even watch an entire day of college football if it's not just a Pac-12. If it's a 17-10 game.
No, I watch all the big games, but I couldn't give a shit less about BYU playing Rice. But like I watched every game this last Saturday because it was all the big games and it was good games.
Well, there were good games till the primetime games.
Yeah,
Michigan,
I did not watch those games.
And Florida State and Louisville sucked. So good early.
But I like those tight 27-24 games come down to the last second. I love that shit.
Okay. Noted.
Not that fucking 48-46 shit. That's fun, but like I like the
Well, I got a feeling that's what we're going to get in the national championship. I really do, whether it's Texas or Washington. And I hope Texas wins. I'm in Texas. I mean, I hate it because I'm an Aggie fan, but I mean, how the hell am I going to pull for Washington? Come on, I can't fucking do that shit.
You're gonna say go Longhorns?
No, I won't do that either. But it's going to be crazy. It's going to be at Energy Stadium too. The national championship. It's going to be here in Houston, so it might be worth a trip.
Are you go? You should go.
Might be worth a trip.
You should go.
I just don't know if I want to spend $1,200 on a ticket, brother.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
When I could sit in my recliner and watch it and drink cheap beer.
Yeah.
$20 beers, you know.
Have you ever been to that stadium?
Yes, I have.
It's nice as shit. I've been one time.
Yeah.
When my dad lived out there. That stadium's sweet.
Been there, and then we went to Jerry's World, the home of the Arkansas Razorbacks. I've been there a bunch of times. Especially in high school. What is? I mean, fucking Jerry Jones. What a dick.
Moving on.
Moving on. Yes. Do I think Texas wins it all? Who do you think wins it all, Coach?
If you made me bet right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to pick
for
one.
shits and grins.
Texas.
Tristan.
Texas.
Homer.
Yeah. Part of it's that, and I just don't think Alabama's equipped. They actually have the thing that's impressive, I think, and D, maybe you see it, sticks off the screen to me, is their team speed. It's unbelievable. Yeah. And I think theirs matches or exceeds Alabama's. And that's the only thing,
Coach, the only thing that's scary.
Physical. They're very physical.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what they haven't been in the last 10 years. That's what Texas hasn't been.
Right.
The last 10 years, physical. They used to be, and you remember when what was his name? They used to be DBU, the defensive back university. I can't remember his name. Anyway, they used to have their defensive backs would all 5 of them go pro. The most physical bunch out there. That's why they were so good back in the Southwest Conference, back when the Big 12 first came out. They were physical. That, to me, is what sticks out about this Texas team. These guys are flying around, and when they wear their tighty whities, they look just fast as fuck. Flying around, physical, a lot of fun. I think the play calling is, bar none, the best I've seen all year. I mean, the past 2 or 3 years. This last game against Oklahoma State, dude, it was flawless. The plays, how he was setting everything up, how from a crossing route to a flood route to the run it was flawless. And the only thing that scares me about them losing to Alabama in the national championship game is it's tough to beat Saban twice in the same year. He proved that against Kirby. It's tough to beat Saban twice in the same year.
I think it was early enough.
Yeah.
It's not as big a deal.
Yeah, people say
they played each other in the same conference, and it was more recent. I think it would be a bigger deal in the last 6 games.
Yeah. Everybody says Bama's not the same team they were the week 2. Well, guess what, boy? Texas ain't the same team they were week 2 either.
They aren't either. Right.
What did you say, Tristan?
I didn't say anything.
I thought you were fixing to say something. You're just enthralled with this conversation.
I took you're not gonna like it, but I think Michigan wins it all.
So you're gonna change?
I didn't. From what?
You said Texas was gonna win it all.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you think Michigan's gonna win it all?
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, we need to go to bed openly and bet each other.
The first time since like 1960 something that Michigan would have, if they do pull it off.
I think if they get past I think if they get past Bama, I think they win it all.
Yeah. Texas hasn't done anything since 06. Michigan hadn't done anything since like 69.
And then Washington probably hasn't done anything ever.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Bama hasn't done anything since last year.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Washington will be a cool story, but I don't see him getting past Texas.
It's going to be interesting. You know what? If Washington does make it, it won't break my heart.
No, it wouldn't mine either.
That. I will say that, to say it. But anyway, yeah, I mean, good luck, Longhorns. Hope you do it. But gosh, it's hard to go against Saban. I just want Michigan out, and I want them out quick, and I want them out painfully, and I just want them out. I mean, I want them crushed.
This is the first time. This is the first team that I've realized that you actually fucking hate.
I can't. Yeah, it's everything. It's everything from the voting booths to the college to the head coach. Everything.
Have you always been this way about Michigan?
Always.
Why?
Always. I hated them from the time I was in high school, and we have the same fight song, dude. Hail to the victory. Yeah, that was my high school fight song. We would cut, and I hated it. Fucking hated it, man. Sit there in our what do you call it?
Kit right here.
What do you call those things? Pep rallies. Yeah, the high school pep rallies, and they start playing. I said, "Fuck!" I'd get mad. I hate it because it's Michigan. I don't know why, dude. I just always hated Michigan, and now knowing they're a liberal state, I hate them even more. But anyway, that's a personal thing there. Moving on. Come on, Tristan. Let's get after it here, man. I really.
Let's do it, big dog.
I just okay. So here's. Let me see here. Can I bring it up? What was so I was texting Tristan today about. All right. Well, these are things I want to talk about. Of course, college stuff, and I sent it to Coach Jennings too. I said, "Hey, you want to talk about some NFL stuff?" And he goes, "Yeah, Tristan. Yeah. I want talk about the parody of the NFL this season. Parody. Yeah, let's talk about parody, and let's talk about Frank Reich. And all this." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, what about the quarterbacks? Let's talk about the quarterbacks in the league. I love talking about the quarterbacks in the league because you can't compare them to when." I was his age and we had real men at quarterback. But I said, let's talk about quarterbacks or how far the Eagles have fallen or how I think Detroit is in line for a Super Bowl next year. I think they're preparing to win a Super Bowl next year. Or why the league is so fucking scripted. Oh, it's not scripted as far as Tristan's concerned. And I said, no, it seems like it. It does. Jacksonville. So good last week. Bengals without a quarterback get waffle stomped. Jacksonville's 9-point favorite, and then they lose in overtime at home. Oh my gosh. No way. The line told you to take the Bengals. The smart guys even took the Bengals money line. But no, it's not scripted. Tristan said these guys are professionals. So I'm just glad
you're telling my side of the story this time.
This is what you said.
No, it is what I said. It is what
you said. You said,
yeah,
no, these are professionals. This is why on any given Sunday, anybody can win. This is where I call bullshit on that theory. Because if you're a professional, the mark of being a professional is consistency. John, if you go out and make your company $10,000 this week, and then you go and you lose $20,000 next week, you do that for 3 weeks, your ass is fired. You're not going to make 10, then lose them 20, then make 10, then lose them another 20. Oh, why? Because you're going up against other pros in your field. No, consistency. Be a pro. That's why, to me, it's scripted. They're telling you who's going to win and where they're going to win and how they're going to win. Pretty simple. If you'd have done it, you'd have won money this weekend. Tell me how not.
Are you done?
Why not? Go ahead.
Are you done?
Tristan.
You're a college football guy, and you're used to watching Bama.
I'm a football guy. Whatever.
You like watching Bama beat up on a Division IV that doesn't even exist. And beat them 70-0, and you love that shit. And it's so in the NFL, these dudes on the other side are getting fucking paid as well. The Bengals were never they're still not out of the playoff race. So why would they go out there and lay down to the Jags? I mean, they're professionals. They can fucking beat these dudes any given fucking Sunday. It's got nothing to do. And you're going to talk about inconsistency and being a professional. The Jags still score 31 fucking points. That's a good fucking game. I get it, but you're acting like they played bad. They didn't play bad. They lost. They lost. So
they should have won by 10.
Okay.
They should have won by 10.
All right. I'm giving you I'm gonna stick it right back to you. That means Georgia is not a good football team.
No, they are a good football team.
No, they're not because they lost to Bama.
Yeah, I know they lost to Bama. They were only favored by 4.
That's
not double digits.
No, don't change the fucking don't do that.
Subject.
Don't do that. That means Georgia is not a good football team.
Georgia is a college football team. They're not a professional football team.
It doesn't matter. They're
yes,
still
it
playing
does. You
football.
just said it yourself. That's your whole premise is professionals. They're professionals. That's your whole premise. Is they're fucking professionals.
Georgia lost to the number 8 ranked. So let's
how
take.
Many
Let's
times
take.
did
Let's
Brady?
take.
How many times did
Stop.
Brady? No, you
hold
stop.
on. Hold on. Where did Coach Jennings go? We lost. Oh shit!
I'll let y'all fight it out. It's like in the schoolyard where you see those 2 guys fighting. You're like, just let them fight. Don't break them up. Just let them go.
By your logic, Coach Z, let's take the team names out of it. Number 1, Georgia lost.
No, we're talking about professional football.
It matters. The number 1 team in the country.
Professionals.
No. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Whether if I have to pry it out of you, we're gonna do it.
They were 29-0. That's how consistent they were. They lost 1 game out of 30. That's how fucking consistent they were. They were 29-1. End of conversation. Just because they lost their 30th game, they were 29-1.
Are you done?
Boom.
Are you done?
Done. Whatever you say has no relevance here.
The number 1 team in the nation lost to the number 8 team in the nation. That means the number 1 team was frauds. So 8-3. No, 8-3. 8-3 Jacksonville, which is a top 3 seed in the league, lost to 5-6 Bengals last night.
Yep.
What's the difference?
Georgia was 29-0. That's a level of consistency none of those
you're just proving my
teams
point.
ever went.
You're just proving my point.
None of those teams ever went there. None of those teams ever had that kind of consistency. So Georgia aren't frauds.
You're proving my point.
No,
yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
Crazy.
You're proving my point.
You're crazy. It's scripted. You know it. John, you know it's scripted.
I have no opinion.
Oh, you're crazy, dude.
These dudes
I think you both have points. All right, let me go with Tristan here. There is parity in the league. Right? I'd say with Coach Z, there is no consistency. There is nobody that wins those amount of games. Right? But I think that the level of talent is different. Everyone's in the SEC and the NFL. There is no, American conference or shitty Big Ten conference. Everyone's in the SEC. Now, we know there's Vanderbilts in the SEC and we know there's Alabamas, right? But I also feel like the committee had the placement of Alabama wrong. I think they were a top 5 team. So would it be different for you, Tristan, if number 4 Bama beat number 1 Georgia?
To prove Coach Z wrong, yes, because he's so high on Georgia, they shouldn't have lost to anybody. No,
I was high on their consistency. 29-0. That's a consistent champion. So they lose one. Yeah. You're liable to lose one in a lifetime. You're going to lose a game.
And then how many times has Alabama been the national champion in the last 10 years?
Exactly.
More than anybody. So you got beat by Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? And you're the top boxer, right? And that's what happened. George Foreman got beat by Mike Tyson.
It's just crazy to me. Like, Coach Z can't stand when these shit NFL teams, or I'm not even gonna call the Bengals shit.
I love when that happens last night. I fucking love.
Why do you make it seem like it's a big deal then?
Because what I don't love is these teams that are supposed to win by fucking 10 or 12 points end up losing to these shitty teams.
It fucking happens.
I love the underdog. I love the underdog. But it happens every single week.
Yes, it does. It happens in
Yeah.
college football too. Why are you bitch about the NFL?
29-0, dog.
It happens.
These
It's
teams lose one out of every
you just hate the
15
NFL. You
games.
just hate the
No, I'm
NFL. That's
not.
all it is.
I'm just telling you. I'm trying to tell you the level of professionalism has gone down so much.
Even in your day, let's go. I'm gonna take it back a couple steps.
You weren't even born in my day. You were still a itch in your daddy's crotch, boy.
In your day, in your day,
back in the early '80s. No, I was kidding.
Yes.
Nah, it was more like the 50s. But anyway,
no, that's your mom. Shut up.
back in the 50s, there was even. I'm sorry.
I
Back
wasn't
in the
even born
80s,
in the 50s, Dick.
back in the 50s and the into the 80s, there was never even a consistent winner back then either.
Are you kidding me?
Go ahead. There wasn't.
Yeah, the Cowboys, the Steelers.
And you love that shit. You love when the same team is consistently just all the time in the Super Bowl.
No, we're talking about professionals. We're talking about being professional. Those were pros. Tom Brady.
So he
Tom
didn't
Brady's
like
a pro.
did he? He didn't like Tom Brady in the Patriots, did he?
Who, me?
Yeah.
It's funny. The older I got, the more I respected him. I hated him as a kid. I will tell you that.
Gotcha.
Coach Z, why are you having a blank stare right now?
It's just, I mean, I don't want to bring it up because I don't want to talk about it, but you're the same guy that thinks LeBron James is the greatest basketball to ever play the game.
He is, and it's not close.
I mean, this is where this podcast has gone.
You're not helping yourself. You're not helping yourself. I'm trying to help you, but you're digging a hole.
Nah, I'll die on that hill.
This is how far we've fallen.
Yeah, I'll die on that hill. Coach Z already knows that.
I mean, Mahomes is a better quarterback than
I put Kobe against LeBron. I put Kobe ahead of LeBron.
John, we've had this conversation. LeBron James isn't even in my top 5 all time.
Yeah, he's not in my top 3, or he might be in the 3, 3, 4-ish.
I've got him 6, maybe 7. It'd be tough for him to find the court, and then it would be limited minutes because he's a cancer, and he would bring my team down. So
there's no doubt about all that.
Yeah.
I left that part out.
But anyway, this is how far we've fallen.
My blood pressure's through the roof.
How is your
why are we talking about LeBron James on a football program?
No, I'm just saying it's chalk talk. We can talk about basketball. We can talk about baseball too if you want to, or college soccer or whatever. Anyway,
volleyball.
We're not going to. I've seen enough volleyball in my time. Okay, let's getting back to this. I don't even know why I got on this. What was it that you wanted to talk about? Tristan, you brought this
for the record, and I fully believe this. You can say whatever fuck. I don't care. When Mahomes is said and done, he will be a better player than Brady ever was.
A better player, or a better quarterback?
Same thing, player, quarterback.
No, it's
not.
No,
it's not.
No, it's not. God
yes, it is.
Damn, no, it's not.
He'll be a better. He'll be a better quarterback and player. There, I said it.
Hard to predict the future. Who knows what's going to happen to that guy?
Oh my God,
bro!
Okay.
There's no consistency in his longevity.
Jesus, this fucking guy.
He's won 2 Super Bowls in what, 6 years? I mean, probably going to go to another this year. Been to 3 Super Bowls. He every year he's made it at least to the conference championship game. So far, I mean, I'm sorry, but he's on pace.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
Yeah, Mahomes is a real fucking deal.
He's got a long ways to go still.
Yeah, he does.
He's got over a decade to go. I mean,
you're not wrong, but I just he's a real deal.
I agree. He's good. I'd take Tom though.
You what?
I'd take Tom with a good offensive line.
Yeah.
Here's the problem, John. We're talking about 2 different. Now we could coach him Mahomes, and we would definitely recruit him Mahomes, and we would definitely draft him Mahomes.
Yeah.
And guys like me and you, we could put a system around a kid that is like that, or Brady. I mean, we'd be lucky enough fortunate enough to have either one. These young bucks can't do that. It's a one way. It's one way to do it. You know, that's why the game has changed so much. It's because of these young kids like this. It's too much coaching to do it one way. You got to get these kids like Mahomes, like Manziel, like that little bitty dwarf over in Arizona, snap the ball, run around back and forth like crazy, and then find somebody 50 yards and throw some bitch out there. You got to have it. They're calling what's Mahomes' coach's name? The Walrus. What's his name?
Reed.
Andy Reid. Yeah, Andy
You
Reid.
want to know why? Can I answer
Andy
that?
Reid. Andy Reid.
The
You want to know why?
Lions aren't as good anymore.
Exactly.
No,
They're not any good anymore because you don't have
defensive players are faster.
Well, there's no doubt. There's no doubt the players now have
exceeded
the players, but so have the offensive players. There's no doubt. There's no doubt these motherfuckers are running at 40 miles an hour, and they're hitting each other with some force that wasn't happening in the 80s and 90s. But that's on both sides of the ball.
I won't disagree with you. I mean, if you can't move at the quarterback position now, like you're not going to do well.
Right.
I mean, you've got to be able to move.
Yep.
I mean, when you got Micah Parsons coming off the edge running a 4.45 as a defensive end, that's fucking nuts.
Yeah, and then you also have an offensive tackle over here that can move better than any offensive tackle can.
Trent Williams,
and you've got a running back that could chip and help and all that. But you don't have coaches that know how to put a scheme together to do something like that. You're in trouble. That's when you need these kids to run around and throw the ball. You want to know why their play cards are like this? Is so they can take a white erase marker and go to the sign and go, hey, you go here, you go here, you go here, you go here, and you run around like crazy. It's a different game. I don't like it. That's just me though, because I come from the 80s and 90s, and I used to coach where we used to study this shit and break it, and it's just a whole different ball game. And I don't like it. I love to see.
It's like that in the college game too, though.
I love to see
what's
those.
the difference?
I know. I'm saying I don't like.
Everyone used to be more like Purdy and Mayfield, not like Mahomes and.
Don't say Mayfield like that was a compliment.
I like Mayfield.
Yeah, but he sucks though.
That's fine. You have your
well, he's a fucking head case, but I mean, it's a different game.
It's a different game.
I'm just saying starters in the NFL, like different. It's a different, and it has to be a different scheme to fit the Mahomes of the world, as opposed to the world.
Yeah, and then you got to bring in the right people too,
right? The person
to make that happen. Yeah, because I want to see when Mahomes. Because when Mahomes is done here in 10 years, because that's what we think is going to have to happen for him to be as good as Brady, about another 10 years, because he's on pace. At that 10-year period, when he goes to the Bucks, or when he goes to another lower level team, win a Super Bowl over there with them. And what's he going to need over there to do what Brady did? That's what I'm saying.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, when that happens, then we'll crown him just like Brady.
Yeah, I would love to crown him and it happens all the time. Tiger Woods, greatest golfer ever to play the game, right? We got to agree on that, right? Yeah. It took 30 years to break all these records, dude. It's going to take another 30, 40, but there's going to be somebody come around and break all the Tiger's records. It's going to happen eventually. That's why records are made to be broken.
It's going to be his own son.
Maybe, or maybe John Daly's son. John Daly's son can swing the fucking stick too, man.
Yeah.
But and put beers.
Yeah, put away some beers. You never know. But I mean, those records are made to be broken. I just hope I'm around to see somebody to do it. Yeah. I just don't think it's going to be this Mahomes kid, because he's going to get hit 100 times more than Tom Brady ever did.
Yeah, NFL means for long.
Yeah, not for long, big boy. If you run around like that, that's what I'm saying.
He's got to learn to sit in there longer. And you know what? I think Hurts is starting to get the gist of that. The more I watch Hurts play, and evolve from
Yes.
year one now.
Yes.
He's more cognizant of staying in the pocket and not putting himself on the string unless it's dire.
Well, so
kind of like Russell Wilson does.
Yes. I was fixing to say, there we go back to that old 80s and 90s style of football coaching, Tristan. Is homeboy there at Denver, where you take a lot of shit away, and they did the same thing with Milroe at Alabama. Snap the ball, 1-2, step up. If there's number 3, throw it. If not, take off and slide. But you're stepping up. You're not going east and west, like old Mahomes does. I mean, that's where your life expectancy, because you do have those guys that run a 4.2 40 that are 285 pounds and will fucking kill you. So,
and Murray does the same thing. He goes east and west. The Stroud kid goes east and west.
Yeah.
Guys, if they don't learn to start stepping up in the pocket and become more refined, you're not going to be playing home.
Snap, 1, 2, 3, nothing, step up.
It takes one wrong hit.
Yeah. Boy, it does take one wrong hit. I love watching old highlights of Troy Aikman. Those were the good old days for me. Anyway. Tristan, what do you think? You got anything else? I mean, I shut you up pretty good because I know I'm right a lot.
Yeah, I don't
want to leave it. I don't want to leave it like this, man.
Yeah, I don't think you did.
Talk to me, man.
No, I'm good. I think we got it out.
Yeah, I think you guys did.
Man, I love you, Tristan. My number one guy. He'll ignore me during the day via text message, but that was
an accident.
Yeah, you and my wife, they both hate me, John. I'm telling you, dude. They did one podcast together, and ever since then, brother, they both act the same. I mean, I've kissed my wife as much as I've kissed Tristan.
No, I'm not texting. Text him.
Exactly. And then the funny thing, and I'll show you the text. I text my wife a screenshot of my conversation with Tristan. I said, "You're just like my wife. You hate me." And Tristan goes, "No, we both love you equally." My wife texts the same thing. "No, we both love you equally." I'm like, yeah, y'all.
Goodness.
Yes, yeah. That's the kind of shit I go through. So anyway, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that subscribe button, man. Let's grow this community. I need people to love me on this thing, because guys like Tristan and my wife, I got too many people against me. I need people with me here. Make sure you comment. Tell me what you like, what you don't like. Who you think's going to win the national championship? What do you think about professional football? Are they pros? Are they not? These quarterbacks. Is Mahomes a real deal? I mean, are you serious? Are you going to side with Tristan? You're going to side with me on this? Let's go ahead and make this happen.
Is LeBron the best basketball player of all time?
Okay, on that we are going to end.
Is LeBron the best or not? Let us know, guys. Coaches Call on Tap. This is Chalk Talk. Make sure you go follow us on Coaches Call 0 TikTok. Me and Tristan are on there all the time. Make sure you like and follow our shorts. Get the word out. I appreciate everybody. Tristan, thank you for producing this show, doing everything for us. Coach, thank you for being on, sharing your thoughts. This is your coach here in Texas. Coaches Call on Tap Chalk Talk. Until next week, have a good one. Hope all your tickets cash. Adios.